Moving on, we see another photograph of Victoria surrounded by 3 wilted bouquets of flowers. Everything that they touch wilts. Do you understand this? Because they come from death and they only take life from the living, not from themselves. The bale finger again on one hand, the magic wand gesture on the other. The eyes never lie, brothers and sisters. She knows, but we don't. Elizabeth I, depicted again here. The Grim Reaper on one side, Father Time on the other. Hand to the temple, just like Aleister Crowley used to do all the time. You have to keep in mind that John Dee was a black magician superior to Aleister Crowley, who also happened to be Elizabeth I's right-hand man, her first lieutenant, as it were, the same as Lucifer was to the one true creator. He dabbled in many things, so he would have let her know exactly what he dabbled in. If you look above her head, you see Cupid as a division of two, the duality of two. Cupid is Lucifer. If you was to bring your head back slowly with me here, you will notice that they've been painted out as antlers, which is in association with the symbolism of the Archon. I've only just also noticed the Book of Life in the hand. My photographic memory kicked in. This is in association to the two up here, Father Time and the Grim Reaper. They're the same, one in the same. Satan. Have a quick sip of my wine, one moment. Okay, so once again, you see the sign of the Canaanites, which is also the M for Freemasonry. The two, again, are one in the same. The beads that I showed you on the headdress of Vlad the Impaler, you're starting to see the pattern emerge now. With the reptilian collar once again. And the veil, they all wear veils. You know what that's about? The veil, you'll notice always black veils also, because it is the black veil, the awakening on that side of it, rather than the white. The left-hand path rather than the right. Once again, Horns of Mendes, sign the Canaanites, the M for Freemasonry. It's all the same thing. In her other hand, you'll notice she's holding what would appear to be the weak, considering it's in the right of the right-hand path, but it's not. It's the tear, the Canaanite, once again. Okay? Oh, and what do we see down here? I almost missed it. The dog depicted. It was with Victoria in her photograph, and now it is with Elizabeth I in hers. Her painting. Okay? They're telling you what they are and what they do. The bale finger once again holding, which I'd imagine is an umbrella, which is symbolic of the Rain Man, which is symbolic of Satan when he fell as Lucifer. Okay? It's also scythe for Kronos, who is Saturn, who is Satan, the Grim Reaper. Father Time. The peacock, very occultic also. Okay? The eye, one eye symbolism once again for the AI, and I. Okay? The anus, the portal, the archway, the vortex. You see another Saturnian Archontic emblem attached to the left shoulder. Always the left for the left hand path, understand? With a fucking Freemasonic gloves on. Always with the white. And the deep in delight. Silly little Harry once again. With the Freemasonic hand gesture, the hidden hand. Okay? One jester. With one gesture, hand jester. He's working for the jester, they all are. The demiurge. With one hand gesture comes another. Okay? It's the split once again. It's the Canaanite hand symbol. Done by this. Yeah, another male. Part of their religion, part of their mindset. Prominent brow. The prominent jawline. The Canaanite ears. The Canaanite teeth. Victoria once again here. Same shit, different toilet. It's the vortex of the 69. The wilted flower once again. You see this? Am I reaching? Is it a coincidence? The storm behind her. Lucifer fell as lightning. Victoria. Elizabeth II. One and the same, ladies and gentlemen. Something else to keep in mind. The rod of iron, which is scripture from, I believe, the Old Testament, possibly the New, but I believe to be the Old. The rod of iron is the AI, the artificial intelligence. Okay? The rod in one hand, the eye in the other, which is also the black hole sun, which is also the anus. Okay? Horns of Mendes, sign the Canaanites, Freemasonry once again, and the hand gesture for the magic wand. Now, if you remember from the first slide, I showed you Vlad the Impaler with his headdress. Do you remember this being part of it? Do you? Here it is again, with the cross through it. Here the Saturn. Remember the feelers, remember the antennae. That's all this is, ladies and gentlemen. This is very similar to what the machine mother actually looks like, because her children, the egg she laid, the Archons, cute little Archie, see? Looks exactly the same. And that is what this is. See the segments? See the fractal fragments? It's the caterpillar, the centipede, the egg. If you look very closely, you'll notice just what kind of egg it is. The tear, the Canaanite. You see this? The bearded darnel, the opposite of us. Wait, this is a tear. Hidden hand also over here. See the wings? The dragonfly, the insect. I asked you to keep Diana in mind, dressed as Rosemary. Fast forward, we now have Kate Middleton dressed as Rosemary. Do you see these dark art practices? They just repeat because that's all they can do. Same shit, different toilet. even down to the baby being held by Kate here, and the bouquet of roses being held by Rosemary here. It's the same thing. Buds, seeds. Do you understand? The roses, the anus, sodomy of the child. I'm sorry, guys. That's what it is. Canaanite here. So, there's a lot of controversy over this painting. It's Elizabeth I. This is how it looks now. Many believe originally it was covered up from how it looked before. I tend to agree, to be honest. A little bit too similar. You see? What else would it be? The slit eye attire doesn't help either, does it? Along with the Saturnalian black cubes and red, because the cube is not without an ambience, a radiance of red from the blood magic from the adrenochrome, the louche feeds it. Here's the spiral for how it's fed. And if you look very closely, you'll see why I say that it's not a serpent, it's a dragon. Does this look like the head of a serpent to you? Or does this look a little bit more avian in nature? As William from the 101 OCS Arc would tell you and has taught me. Or a Knigan also would tell you and has taught me. You see the beak? Green suits her a little bit too well, don't you think? Even more than orange. There's the octopus. There's the spider. There's the Archon. A clip featuring Prince Philip with the slit eye in one eye, which I've captured many a time in some of my own videos of BBC reporters and crisis actors alike. Queen Mother here, the same Canaanite teeth. They're not like yours and mine. I have very sharp canines, but they have this gap. They have this shape. We're in the heart chakra once again. Remember the cross? You see the Saturn? That's what it is, but she wants you to think it's everything that it isn't. Princess Diana being made a pawn once again, holding up the knuckles to the face, depicting the symbolism of the spider. Elizabeth I, same reptilian collar, same hand gestures. Elizabeth II with her infamous black cubed bag. Need I say more what this is with the lock on it that we're trapped inside as she carries it around? Not this queen, the real queen. This is the thumb of a Canaanite. This is the thumb of Meghan Markle. See how it bends back? They all have it. They all have it. It's part of their genetic makeup. Freemasonic purple on Elizabeth II here. Lilybet, as she likes the children to call her before she cuts their heads off with ancient medieval swords. as it's been reported. You'll notice the boat she's fashioning here in this picture is also a tear, a bearded darnel, but is also an owl. The owl is associated with Lilith, who is the murderer of children and the thief of men's semen. One in the same. And that is the same shit. Different toilet. Elizabeth I, once again, same hand gestures, same look in her eyes. They know, brothers and sisters, that they have to live the rest of eternity without death, surrounded by it. Okay, so this brooch, you see the sunflower, sun worship, the light bearer, Lucifer. Okay, the black hole sun, Saturn, which is Satan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 petals to this sunflower. 12, 1 and 2 is 3 in gematria of Jewish, or should I say, Kabbalist and Freemasonic depiction and decoding. So you have your 3. You then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn the 9 upside down, ladies and gentlemen, you have 3 sixes. How they do it. How they roll. Peacock feather once again. Beads once again. And my favourite brooch of all. Oh yes, from the first slide. The symbol over Vlad the Impaler's pineal gland. It's the same thing, is it not? Same thing, is it not? Her fucking relative, Dracula. Okay? This is chaos magic. It's also the sign of the reptilians in ancient Babylon. It has 8 tentacles, tendrils, spider legs, just like the arthropod, just like the cephalopod. Okay? With 8 brains. The octopus, which is the machine mother. 8 and 8, 16. 1 and 6, 7 for your rings of Saturn. On a light note, thought I'd get a picture of Charles petting a reptile with his bail finger. Couldn't help myself. Apparently neither could he. Probably his fucking cousin. So, Markle doing the spider gesture once again. And last but not least, the Queen here on Earth, as she calls herself, pretended to be the Queen there on Saturn, as it calls itself. It took me a while for my eyes to adjust this, as it might do yours. You have the yellow, blue, and pink for the Divine Feminine. The surrounding the AI, the artificial intelligence in the triangle. You see it? Which to us would be the male, the phallic, but the machine mother's only pretending to be male because it's the mother, not the father. And from the perspective of this thing, it would be the upside down triangle, wouldn't it? For femininity, for water, for the octopus. I'll leave you with this. The same way that John Dee would bring the code of the 00 and 7 as we think it is. That's the problem, we think It was actually the glasses with the handle attached to it, telling the Queen, as she so called herself then, the first Elizabeth, that it was a letter for her eyes only. This family of insanity, they call their letters these days spider letters. Do you think that that's an accident? Spider letters, because of the webs that are spun inside them. The Freemasons use this too. It's part of their logo and part of their motto. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Weaving spiders come not here. Bohemian Cove. Okay? As long as you're not a spider weaving against their web, don't have a problem. Because they're run by one. They're puppeteered by one. The real Queen.